Hi, my name is Christina Jones, and this is a presentation for my American Jewish Thought class. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what is, in my opinion, the central conflict of My Name is Asher Lev by Chaim Potik. I also want to touch on Asher's family's immigration to the U.S. and how it reflects the writings of Herberg and Sarna that we've been talking about in class, and how that aligns with the Lev's experiences. And finally, I want to draw a parallel between Asher's life and ultimate departure from his community to Emerson's departure from his own ministry. The central conflict in Asher's life, in my opinion, at first glance, would have been his passion for his art, because he embraced these symbols of the crucifix and nude models, obviously things that the Jewish religion does not accept, especially at such a young level. At that Asher's age. While this hobby didn't do Asher many favors, the true conflict boils down to Asher and his father. Asher's father served the Rebbe not only because he supported and spread Judaism, but because of the precedent set by Asher's grandfather to serve the Rebbe without question and to practice the Jewish religion. In my own experiences with this, I've come to conflict with my own father. Throughout my life, I always wanted to be a journalist, and my dad was like, no way, journalists don't make any money, and you're better off just becoming a doctor. And so I tried, I really did. I modeled Asher's work ethic for a while. I got myself through general chemistry, but I couldn't get myself to embrace the dimethylhexanes that Orgo so much loves to assign. So I ended up disappointing my dad, but luckily I'm not moving off to Paris anytime soon, so I'm still welcome in my house. Unfortunately, that was not the case for Asher. Had the central conflict in the novel been the artwork that Asher was producing, I feel that the Rebbe would have put his foot down and said, look, Asher, like, you're not doing this. You need to respect our traditions and mirror your art as such, if letting him do any art at all. However, the Rebbe encourages Asher to continue with his gift and even assigns him a mentor. And this mentor that he assigns him is not a faithful Jew. He is someone who left the community and someone who practices clearly secular artwork. I did some background research on Chaim Potik to see if I could find anything about his relationship with his father, or anything about, how things were going there, and maybe an inspiration for this novel. But the only thing that I could find on the Jewish Virtual Library was that his parents were Polish immigrants. So I do believe that some of the experiences that Asher, the character, experiences mirror probably what Potik experienced growing up in Brooklyn, where Asher also grew up. But I couldn't say anything about his relationship with his dad, although I feel that I could speculate that maybe there was some conflict between them. But Potik ended up becoming a rabbi, so maybe he is living vicariously through Asher in his leaving the community, but not my position to say. I don't know enough about that, but it is interesting. In my paper, I talked about Hansen's Law as presented by Herberg and Sarna. I believe that to a degree, Asher's journey in discovering his art mirrors the secularization process that perhaps first generation, second generation immigrant children experienced. While Asher never turned away from his religion per se, he definitely questioned it, and as he regressed in studying his art, he started to adopt more taboo symbols. So I feel that, like, although he didn't get rid of his religion per se, he was moving into like a secularization process that one would say was facilitated by his mentor Jacob Kahn. So I think that in a sense, the theory behind Hansen's Law was mirrored. So much that Asher is coming further from his religion and his parental generation, but he's not really departing from his religion completely. With respect to Emerson and Asher, both men went on record to divide their communities. Both Emerson and Asher held great respect for their upbringing. However, they did not uphold their opinion or withhold their opinions from their community. Emerson told, he disputed the symbolism that surrounded communion and removed all weight from it. All of its sanctity was removed. Asher embraced what some would consider a taboo symbol, the crucifix, and he channeled it through his artwork. So both men sort of took this symbol and removed its power from it. However, their communities did not see it that way, and they were, as a result, shunned. So to recap what I've talked about, because I've talked about a few different things, I believe that the central conflict in My Name is Asher Lev revolves around Asher and his father. Because Asher did not fall into the set role of serving the Rebbe, his father could not take pride in his son, no matter what. This generational conflict represents Hansen's Law, and as the generational conflict represents it, because subsequent generations of immigrants pull away from their set traditions. Not completely, it's still recoverable, but there's definitely some differences between the way that Asher lived his life and the way that his father lived his, and ultimately that probably had to do with the immigration process. Coming to America and having other role models such as Jacob Kahn in his life created this dispute. Finally, Asher embraces a symbol of the crucifix in his statement show, the Brooklyn Crucifix, and that mirrors Emerson's decree against the sacrament of communion. So both men inspired shock to their religious communities. So I hope that you enjoyed my presentation and that some of it made sense to you. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it.